So now that we've considered national data, quantitative data such as gross national income, let's think about other types of data that are useful for development. This image that you can see is an illustration of a map library in a developing country. And what you can see here is like most governments around the world, the government in this country retains collections of maps of their nation. Now, these are very important national resources. They may include geological maps, land use maps, or maps of other features that contain important information about the social and environmental characteristics of the country. For example, they may contain information about where oil or gold deposits may be. They may contain information about changes in land use patterns. This repository in this image represents a collection of data about natural and human constructed phenomena. Where a poorer country does not have the resources to conserve or digitally archive that collection, it literally crumbles. And you can see from the condition of the maps in this case that this is a collection that is going to be very difficult to preserve and make use of for this country into the future. This next image is a group of urban farmers in an area in the center of a capital city in a West African country. And the interesting thing about this photograph is when I asked one or two of the farmers if they would be willing to have their photograph taken, they explained to me that they are an association, so they have gathered together as a group, and the gentleman in the middle is holding up the record of the association members. Now, this is interesting because this is a resource that could be shared across the city. While we were doing this research, we met nearly 100 similar cultivation associations where farmers had got together to support each other, to learn from each other about how much water was needed, about how to manage pests, soil erosion, and what to do with their crops once they'd grown them. And that could give insights across a city or possibly across a country if that data, that information was gathered together. For example, as you may notice from the photograph, there's a large number of women farmers in this, and later we found out that many of them were female heads of households, that is, that they were widows and they were the main person responsible for gaining the livelihoods, the food or the income for the household. That's crucial for the information for the city and making sure that the people living in the city have access to the livelihood opportunities that they need. And finally, this last in the sequence of photographs is a nursing manager for a rural health centre, primary healthcare centre. That means that he's responsible, he's the first point of contact of the formal medical agency if anyone has any health issues. Particularly, one of his main areas of responsibility is supporting pregnant mothers during their pregnancy and in the delivery and early postnatal period. And what he's done is he's collected data about the people that he treats and looks after, and he's posted it outside the health centre on his notice board. So he's collecting and sharing that data, and this is an important part of what he sees as his public service to the community. What this means is his community have access to this data, they can see the role that he's playing and his health centre are playing within the community, and that gives the community public health information about for example, if somebody becomes pregnant for the first time, that they know that they will be supported by him, what sort of health risks are existing within the community, and how he treats and responds to those. So this is providing us with important information about local level development.